work. And okay, my other question is, how about accessing the VM? So, and let me do a little live demo here so that you can have a sense for what this looks like. And you don't see, you see this now, right? This black screen, but you don't see it now. It's off the screen. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so just so I know what you can see for sure. Right. So it's very simple. For my machine, I need to say sudo because my SSH key is in a weird place. But if my goal was to show you like, well, I mean, this is just what SSH looks like. Username at IP. It's very straightforward as far as the basics go. And I always include a little comment here because, you know, it like I'm just pressing the up arrow to go back in my terminal history. And the one before that was another project. And then what was before that? Oh, I wanted to see if Solomon had uploaded his Git keys yet. There's one. Anyway, the point is how to use these things in some kind of basic way. So if I'm like, okay, if I want to know which key it's using to log in, I would just put the -v parameter in there, and I need to put in my password because for my computer, this is not for the VM, just so you're clear. My computer's like, oh, you want to access this file? Give me your password. Okay, fine. And then I'm in, but let me go back here because I want to show you what that looked like. Oh, I cut it off. Bummer. Let's just get one more time here. So if you have an error, if you can't get in, -v will show you all this history. You can kind of study it. So including which key it uses is in here somewhere. So let's see if I can grab it in time. Identify file. Oh, well, I missed it. It's too fast. Anyway, here I am, and let me actually take myself home because you're all going to start. Ooh, no, I have an idea. I'm going to start just exactly as it'll be for y'all. So let me try this again. Oops. And okay, so when you first get in, this is what it'll look like. Let's atmosphere because they're the ones maintaining the VMs, and it'll give you your username, which I've already assigned to each of you. And you'll be in your home drive. The next thing you should look for is what are the volumes or the drives attached to this virtual machine instance that I could access. And by the way, the instances and drives are things that I configure on the back end. You don't have to worry about it. But if we scale up, there'll be new IPs and new file systems and everything. So it's all exchangeable. We can throw away a virtual machine and a volume if we want at any point, and we can do one. Okay, so I'm like, hey, which drives I have access to? And the one you should always pay attention to, at least for this project, is volume B. That's where things live. That's how we have it set up. Okay, so I'm like, okay, what's in volume B? Actually, even before then, I'll be like, first tell me what's there. Okay, so something called data. What's in data? And like everything is in data. It's a little hard to read, so I always like putting / with my ls. And it's color coded, so you know that there's like these things are open permissions. So you don't need to worry about most of this stuff, but web scraping and web tools are what we'll use. And then there's SC data, which we might actually keep going with. Yeah, because it's a repo I've already made. I can just change it to scraping data or something. Anyway, these are all open access. That's what this thing means. Yeah, don't worry if you don't know what this means. It's just like, if all the letters are here, that means you can pretty much do anything in there, including delete it, but don't do that. Yeah, so, and then you just move around by going like, and then I press tab to auto-complete it. Oh, there's too many. Wait, oh, I'm not there. See, why that happened is, sorry about the noises. It doesn't know what I'm asking it to do. So I have to be in the right folder first, and then I can go cd web scraping here. And okay, what's in Scrapey? Scrapey vanilla. Okay, so that's all pretty straightforward. Okay, the other thing I want you to know how to do is like this pretty simple command. You know what? Actually, yeah, sure. Let's do this first. So if I were to run that, it would actually replace my Docker container, which I don't want to do because I have one already. You can see it. You just do Docker PS. And there's like, oh, there's one, Sam has one set up already that's been there about a day, and I've had one on there as the root because I can't make my own. Actually, I can't make my own, so let me just show you what happens. I'm like, hey, make me a server. I really hope this fails. No, it worked. That's about right. It's fine. So then I can just go in here and copy it. And then I'll bring up the web browser here. Get out here. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna quit. Oh yeah, you're not supposed to see that yet. And just put it in my browser. And voila, I have a Jupyter Notebook server, which I can use to do anything. Yeah. Mostly I would go to web scraping and then look at scripts like Scraping Vanilla, which we will talk about in a minute. So I'll just leave that there. But yeah, there you go. So that's how you get around. One other thing I'll tell you about, and I'm going to hit Control L to clear my screen because it's too messy now. Is oh yeah, Byobu. So Byobu is really cool. This should be like one of the first things you do when you log in. Enable Byobu. Quit with Control D. Log back in. And then you'll notice there's a little window bar down there in a different color scheme. And that's really cool because I can like, I can move around just as I was doing before. It's still a terminal, but I can hit Control A. And when you first do that, it'll prompt you. It'll be like, hey, tell me what to do when you hit Control A. And just press 1 when it does that. It'll be like, because you want it to be an escape sequence. So I hit Control A, I released, and then I press C. Oh, yeah, there it is. So what happened here? You get a new window. You can have it do stuff for you. You can be like, hey, tell me what's going on in the system. And I can just leave this here, and then hit Control A, N, and it'll go to the next screen. And every time I do that, my computer beeps at me. I don't know why, but if it does that, don't be afraid. Okay, yeah, and then it can do something else here, including like start a script if I want to. So one other really neat thing about Byobu, and you can read more about it in the documentation. But if I hit Control A for an escape sequence, and then I press D, it disconnects. D for disconnect. And oh, well, detach, I guess is actually the word. But the cool thing is I can SSH back in, and without me doing anything, things are exactly where I left them. So the nice thing about this is like, you don't have to keep your computers on overnight for it to run tasks, because Byobu lets you just detach and maintain multiple windows as well. And you can also rename them. I think, what is the key for that? I think it's FH. Yeah. So I can just rename my window and so that it shows it down there. Process, and then that's what it'll be called. Yeah. Okay. Lots of really cool things about Byobu. I will simply say that if you go into the documents, there's a little section here called some basic Byobu commands. Oh yeah, and killing windows. Maybe I'll show you that one. But then there's some other cool stuff. If you don't know about these shell tricks, I was just reviewing these and they're really useful actually. Control U clears the line left of the cursor. Okay. Oh, the other thing was, say I'm done with this window, I don't care about it anymore. Control A. Okay. It'll say, hey, you want to kill this? Definitely. And then there's just one window. Okay, that's it. Any questions about navigating the VM? Cool. And Andrew, feel free to play around with Docker commands, because now we've got a couple of Docker containers in here, and it looks like someone just made another one. Who does this belong to? Oh, it was me. Darn, that's not what I wanted to do. So how do I do this again? Oh yeah, Docker stop, and then I'll put in, because this one I made when I was sudo, I don't want to have two running, so I'm just going to do D4. That's all you got to do. Docker stop and then the first couple letters, and it'll do the rest. It'll know that there's only one that starts with P4. And now if I'm right, there should only be 2 Docker containers going. Okay, great, as easy as that.